You were way too much. Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is McKenna, and this is Jessica Mills. Woohoo! And I'm here to ask her a couple questions, and we're gonna have fun.
We can't stop giggling already, so I know. That's a good sign.
I'm gonna blow up the microphones. I read your IMDb page, and you did some theater before you went into film.
Yes.
So, how did you figure out, hey, maybe I want to do film, or like, when did that come about, I guess?
Well, I've always been a huge film and TV junkie anyway. So doing film along with theater was always sort of the plan. I was in New York doing a lot of terrible theater for like 3 years. And then I kind of felt like I had gotten as far as I could get without an agent or an equity card. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of friends out in LA, and they were like, come out here. So I went out there and started doing it out there.
So that being said, which did you prefer? Like living in LA or living in New York?
I have to say, I don't really like either.
Really? Okay.
The thing is, like, there's really awesome things about both cities, but there are difficult things about both cities as well. So, like, I think wherever you are, it depends. Like, you can be happy. Like, I enjoyed being out in LA, and I have a lot of really great friends out there, and the beach is close by, and like, I still get that like thrill whenever I drive past like something that's shooting, and I'm like, ooh, there. And New York, there's no place in the world like New York. It's an incredible place. But you know, Texas is my home, so I always miss home.
How hard is it to live in Los Angeles? Like, the rent kind of thing?
Oh, well, you know, I mean, I wouldn't call it hard necessarily. In order to make go out to a city like that and make a living, you know, attempt to make a living doing what you want to do, you do have to make sacrifices, you know, like money. It depends on how you're feeling at the time and if it's worth it. And for me, you know, it's always been worth it to sacrifice certain things to be able to do what I really love to do.
Do you have a season pass to Disneyland, or have you not been to Disneyland? He's laughing. Don't laugh at me.
I went to Disney World first. Have you been to Disney World?
Yes. For my birthday.
It's ridiculous. The one in Florida is amazing. Like, mind-blowingly incredible. Yeah. And I didn't realize that Disneyland is so small.
It is small.
So I went, and I was like, huh.
Because I've been to Disneyland 11 times. Don't laugh at me. I want to live in California just so I can go to Disneyland every day. I'm going to grow up, and I'm going to have 60 cats. So sad. So I was reading on a website, I believe it was IMDb as well, that you have this new project, and it's called Death Echoes. And I read the description, and it sounded like freaking awesome. Can you like kind of tell us what it is
so
all
funny.
about?
Death Echoes is actually a super old project.
Just kidding.
The first thing I ever wrote, I co-wrote with my friend Quincy, a feature. We initially started out, we just wanted to write a horror movie that we could just shoot on the weekends or whatever. And it ended up being this really sort of like complex psychological thriller kind of a thing. I've always loved it. I've always been really excited about it. So I still would very much like to shoot it someday. But it requires a budget.
Right.
So
dang it.
Well, yeah, but it's always in the back of my mind because I think it's fun, and I love thrillers anyway. Yeah. So
it sounds really cool.
Thank you. There's a trailer on my YouTube for it. Buried. It's the first thing I ever posted on my YouTube. So if you search Death Echoes on YouTube, you should be able to find the trailer.
Okay, I'm gonna do that because I only read it and I was like, oh, maybe that's new. Apparently not. But awkward. Whew, it's getting hot in here. Awkward embraces. Where do you see that going in 2 years?
Oh gosh.
Or 5, or however many you want. I don't care.
You mean story-wise?
Well, just like, I mean, I guess, yeah. Just like how the viewer stuff, and can I ask that again? No? Oh.
I would like if the show could become more and more complex, because it was the first thing that I ever wrote. So it started out just sort of as little vignettes, and then I started trying to sort of tie them together more to have a more ongoing story for season 2. So, you know, I always think about, like, I would really like it to have sort of like more of an ongoing kind of storyline and a little more and more depth for the characters and more interesting things. And I like the fact that the main character makes choices that the audience doesn't necessarily like. you know, I like that she's flawed and she makes the same mistakes that we've all made, because, you know, it's basically based on my life, you know what I mean? So so when she picks a guy that the audience doesn't want her to pick, it's because that's what we do. You know, we go for the wrong guy, and I like to explore like how all that happens and stuff. So that's what I really think is pretty awesome and exciting about continuing with that show.
I read in another interview that you had the Indiegogo website and how all of your fans were donating, and you were just like, "Gah!" Like, is that still it? And you were early on your deadline.
Yeah, that was incredible. When we crowdfunded for season 2 of Awkward Embraces, I was so blown away by the fan support. They were just amazing. Yeah. Like, we raised over $10,000 in less than 30 days. It was ridiculous and awesome. And
that is awesome.
I'm so grateful to them for how much they've supported the show. It's hard because I could crowdfund for season 3, but I would really like to see if we can get someone else to pay for it, other than the fans. So that's what I've been working towards, is seeing if anyone will pick it up, or, you know, that kind of a thing. So that's sort of what I'm working for right now.
No, that's a stupid question. Never mind. I'm going to do that again because I forgot the English language. Do you ever have conflicts when you're writing with the director? Like, do you ever want to, like, smack him around because sometimes it just doesn't work? Or, like, do you, like...
No, the director of Awkward Embraces and I, we get along so well, which is really funny because we had never met until he showed up to shoot the first episode that we shot. But he gets the show so much, and I've gotten to the point where I'm not really sure an episode is funny until he reads the script, and he has great feedback and great comments and stuff like that. So, and he edits the show as well, and his editing is just perfect. His timing is great. So we get along really well. I'm going to be doing a couple of other shows this summer, so we may get into, you know, I'll be working with some different directors and stuff. So the more I work with more directors, I may come into more problems, but so far I've been really lucky.
This is kind of like, because this is my obsession, well, not really obsession. You were in a movie with Ben Stiller.
I was.
Did you ever get to hang out with Ben Stiller? Yeah, I want to be in a movie with Ben Stiller. Oh, God. Yeah, so that's my question. I can't even talk.
I was the second vet receptionist in Greenberg. I know.
Whoa.
And I had my own trailer I had 2 lines, but I had my own trailer.
I know, okay.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
I had one of those little, like 2-line roles in Greenberg where I'm like, he's picking up vet medication for this pet, and I tell him how to give the medication or whatever. You get an awesome view of the back of my head. Ben Stiller's a really nice guy. He's really he's really quiet and serious on set, or maybe it was just for that film, because that film's a little more serious toned than his other stuff. There was actually probably about 15 minutes where we were sort of standing there, and I was like, "So, do you have any dogs?" So he started telling me about his dogs and his wife, and like, you know, just a little like chit chat conversation like you would have at the grocery store.
I find that so weird because like every time you're on set with a famous person, they act like just. Because, you know, like the whole paparazzi thing, they're like, oh, they're like magical people. And then you meet them and they're just like, kind of just like, awkward. I really want to meet Ben Stiller. Oh, Geek Girl Con.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what is that?
Geek Girl Con is awesome. It had its first year last year. It's a convention in Seattle, and it's called Geek Girl Con because they wanted to celebrate geek girls and all the things that geek girls love, but it's not exclusively for girls. And it was really great when we went because there were actually a lot of guys there too. And the thing that was the coolest about it is that at any convention you go to, you know, you have the con floor that has all the, you know, the vendors and stuff like that, and they have panels. And what was really great about the Geek Girl Con panels was they were all very like socially conscious. There's panels about like, you know, women in comics. There were a bunch of comic artists talking about female characters and the development of the female characters and stuff like that. And I was on a panel called Geek Girls in Pop Culture, and the people on it were people who had written geek girl characters and talking about like the portrayal of geek girls and how that's changing and how that's altering. So it's a really great convention. It's really small and really tight knit, and like the panels are all really interesting. So you're walking around this convention center in Seattle talking about like political implications of geek girl, like whatever, and it's so cool, and it's really, really, really great experience. I highly recommend that people go.
What is it like to be on a panel? Like,
cool? No, it's amazing. It's like, it's such a privilege to be asked, for one thing. to feel like people sort of care that you have something to say is really neat. And to get the opportunity to talk to people about things that you have done or things that you believe in or whatever, it's really, really incredible. Like, it's such a privilege, and it's really exciting. And I geek out. I fangirl all over the place the whole time, like silently in my brain, but like as you're like filing up to sit down and you have your little placard that says like WonderCon, Jessica Mills, and it's like
it could be a little, what is it, a GIF, a GIF? How do you say that? How do you say it?
I call them GIFs.
I say GIF.
Like the peanut butter?
Conflict. Maybe it is GIF.
I have no idea.
Well,
let's ask YouTube.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
What do you say? GIF or GIF? Now, were there people dressed up?
Always.
Did you dress up?
No, I don't cosplay. I get very shy in big crowds, and I don't want people to stare at me. And so if you wear cosplay, like that's all they do.
That's true.
But I love seeing cosplay. It's really like the amount of detail that people go into is incredible. And there's some awesome stuff. Like a friend of mine did Lady Vader at San Diego Comic-Con last year, which looked really cool. She had like the cape and had this sort of like fitted thing, and it was really cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, cosplay is one of my favorite parts of the con experience, because you just get to see because number one, it's kind of like you're meeting your favorite characters.
Right.
And then number two, like it's just, there's so much artistry put into it. It's really neat.
How did you get your own trading card?
Oh my god.
Because I read that and I was like, wait, I want one. Wait, where did this happen?
Okay, my Geek a Week trading card is by far probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. There's this awesome artist named Len Peralta who started doing the Geek a Week, 52 geeks, one geek every week, and he would do a podcast interview, and there's like a bunch of like geek celebrities like Will Wheaton and Paul and Storm and Kevin Smith and the cast of Big Bang Theory and like blah blah. And my friend Bonnie Burton had one, and I was like, that's so cool. I wish I could have one of those or whatever. And then one of my Twitter followers one day, he mentioned Len Peralta on Twitter and said, hey Len, have you thought about using Geeky Jessica for the Geek Week trading cards, whatever. And I tweeted back, I would die of happiness, like in all caps with exclamation. Like, didn't care that it's not cool. I was like, I would die of happiness to be in one of those. He direct messaged me, like, it was like just a few hours later, and he said, hey, I've looked into the stuff that you're doing, and I really like it. I would love to do you for the Geek a Week cards. And there it went. And now Len and I are really great friends. He's such a sweet guy, so it's been really nice.
I want one of those. I wrote upside down and like crooked, and I'm just like, huh? Choose one. Okay. Which I think I already know the answer. So, do you like Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek. Saying you don't like Star Wars is kind of like saying you don't like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars. You can't not love Star Wars, but Star Trek is my one true love.
I think she's getting emotional.
Yeah, Star Trek and Diet Coke. I have two true loves, I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to accept the things that you might not like about the people you love. Like aspartame.
Let me see. That was a really attractive face, I'm sure.
Maybe that will be a GIF or a GIF.
Do you have any Star Trek figurines?
I have a little Guinan and a little Captain Picard, and I have a big Geordie LaForge. I have 2 Tribbles, and I have the Star Trek insignia pin from QMX, and I have a Star Trek lunchbox. And
now, do you have a Star Trek encyclopedia?
I do not have a Star Trek encyclopedia.
Because my English teacher, what happens is he has 2 volumes of these encyclopedia Star Trek things. And whenever he cracks a joke about Star Trek, none of us understand it. He pulls out the encyclopedia, flips to like what the starship or whatever he's talking about, and just reads the definition. And he just has these giant encyclopedias. Awesome. You need to meet him.
That is awesome. I love it that he's educating you about both Star Trek and what does he teach? English and Star Trek. That's totally awesome.
He's a really cool teacher. If you had an action figure, what would your reaction be, and what do you think it would be wearing? Like, what kind of like gear would it have?
Number one, I would be totally stoked. That'd be so awesome. The only thing equally awesome would be if I were in a comic book. I think I would like that more than an action figure. I would just fall over dead from happiness.
No, let's not do that. That's bad.
And if I had an action figure, it would probably be wearing like a lab coat or something. Like I would be one of the characters because I'm not super coordinated necessarily, and I'm not really like I don't have that sort of like svelte, kick-ass kind of look. Yeah. So I think I would probably play like the Amy Acker character from Angel, you know, like the awkward. Oh, sorry. Like,
I failed. So sad.
But I would really prefer to be like Colby Smulders from the Avengers. That's what I would like. I would like to play that kind of character because she's awesome. See,
now I know what she's talking about. Can you do a Chewbacca impression?
No.
Dang it! I was hoping that you would say yes, and then I would... Okay. Dang it.
Can you?
I scared my dogs. Can you do any other impression?
Gosh.
From Star Wars or Star Trek? Just do whatever you would like.
Can I? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
Okay. My song was about the girl. Hang on. Thanks, guys, for watching. This is Jessica, and she's awesome. That's my word. Awesome.
I had so much fun on this interview. It's awesome.
And of course, my name is McKenna. Make sure you subscribe up there. My face is like...
Mine too. We've been giggling, so our cheeks are all like...
Make sure you subscribe up there in the little box. And then also like and share this because that's completely super important. And look at all the description stuff in the box description thingamajig below. Okay, so if you saw anything interesting, kind of stupid looking, like unattractive faces, whatever you want.
Only attractive faces, please. I have a really
of her. Face. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Make a GIF and send it to us.
Yes.
Or a GIF, whatever you want to call it.
Make a GIF and then tell us if you call it a GIF or a GIF.
She's got this.
Because I want to know. We'll
maybe
together. It'll be like an informal survey.
Yeah. Maybe I'm the only one that says GIF.
Maybe not. The internet will tell us.
Thanks for watching. Stay weird. Yeah.
Hey, Jabba the Hutt. Hey, bam.
Oh, he died.
That's right.
He did.
I shot first.
Darth Vader died! Woo! Sorry, dude. And she was really nice. And actually, we started talking about Neopets. Now we can't play Neopets anymore because we're busy with our film careers, but...